Hey everyone, so in this video I'm going to go over a unique approach we use to drive 4 meetings in one single day for a software client of ours. And I wanted to share this video because it's a different approach to lead sourcing that you could find valuable and use it in your own campaigns. So I've prepared a screenshot here from the 16th of September where we booked 4 companies in the financial services sector for our client in the span of about 3 hours. So this method works. And to get these meetings, you don't have to offer crazy guarantees. You don't have to provide free consulting services and compromise on your standard package prices. You don't have to lower your onboarding or setup fees, and you don't have to overpromise faster than realistic implementation times, because you know damn well that it takes time to actually implement the solution. So if you're a software development company or a SaaS company, you know that in most cases it takes time to deliver on the promise. So you don't have to compensate on any of these key points right here to get 4 meetings in a single day with your market. Now, typically when someone watches a video like this on YouTube, like just like mine, they go off and they begin their lead sourcing journey by filtering out the ICP through the industry. So let's say you want to only work with financial companies, and what you would typically do is you would go on databases like Apollo and Crunchbase, and you would filter for financial companies. Now, the problem with that is, since this is your target market and you've generalized the industry, so you're approaching everyone in that industry, doesn't matter who they are and what they actually need, and you have your offer. So let's say your offer is custom software development for bringing in more customers, and you approach your target market with this offer, but you approach the whole industry, and as a result you get negative responses. Why? Because your messaging is more general. So you're saying, hey, we're gonna do this software project for you guys to bring you more customers, and you get negative responses because from the side of the receiver, it looks like you look like any other agency out there offering the same service. So you speak the same language as anyone else. Your landing pages might be the same as anyone else, and your offer is basically the same. So at the end of the day, that puts you in a vulnerable position to be commoditized by your audience, where they would rather take someone who is cheaper than you, even though they are going to compromise on the value. So the idea here is that we don't want to go off and approach a whole industry, because then you risk being commoditized and you're going to be competing on price instead of competing on value. And we want to be competing on value. So how do we go about actually improving our chances of finding companies for our offer? Well, we can add 3 filters. So we can categorize them by the size of their companies, by the location, so where they're based, and we can also do some sub niches from the financial industry, let's say accounting, mortgage, etc. So we can go and categorize these subgroups. Now, even that is not enough then, because like you're gonna have these new lead lists of people that are more targeted, but then your message remains the same. So how do we go about sourcing these leads? Well, we need to think of it like this. So your target audience already has current processes in place to uh, achieve the desired outcome. Now, your offer could be to bring them more customers, okay? And you have to think about it like this. So your target audience already has processes in place to get more customers. So if we're taking the finance industry as an example, then you have their current processes being, let's say, in-person consultations, or maybe they're doing manual document processing, or they're doing manual portfolio review. So with this approach, we're just trying to identify these current processes that lead to the desired outcome. And the desired outcome is, again, what you offer, and that's combined with their current processes. So what is this gap between them not having something and them having the desired result? Well, it's the current process in between these 2 stages. All right. So we need to identify these processes, and we need to tailor our messaging in accordance to these processes. And that's the whole premise of this video. Let's say we focus on the first one and we determine that they are doing in-person consultations. Well, we could say something like, have you considered building a custom platform to streamline and scale these consultations virtually or through automated scheduling? Right? Let's take the second scenario. So we've established that they are doing manual document processing. Well, we can say something like, interested in hearing if you've thought about automating the processing, storage, and review of client documents. Let's take the third scenario. Let's say they're still manually doing portfolio reviews. Well, in this case, we could say, have you thought about creating an app that offers clients real-time portfolio insights, automatic performance tracking, and personalized recommendations based on their financial goals? You see, so what we're doing here is completely different to what I see positioned in the market, which is we're taking something that they're already doing and improving that with our software solution. That's kind of how I position it. So an example email of this could be, hey, first name, saw how your company helps XYZ, interested in hearing if you've thought about, and this is where we put the creative software idea, we're helping location-based industry companies get result by mechanism. So this is like the rough skeleton of the email. And you could use this in your own outreach campaigns as long as you substitute the fields so it is a completely personalized email. Then you should have no issues at all booking meetings only from this approach. But if we substitute it again and look at it again from the perspective of the current processes, then we have, hey, first name, saw how your company helps do consultations for accountants. Interested in hearing if you've thought about having a custom platform to streamline and scale these consultations virtually. You see what I mean? Or we can also do, hey, first name, I saw how your company helps process documents for accountants. Interested in hearing if you thought about automating the processing, storage, and review of client documents. So the main angle I want to focus on in this video, as I said, is the creative software idea. And this comes from our suggestion here, which comes from the current process that they already have. So the cycle of ideation when it comes to writing the copy and personalizing the copy is identifying what they're currently doing to get the desired outcome, making a custom suggestion on how they can improve that with our services, and including that in the email, in each email that we send. All right, so how do we actually determine someone's current processes? Well, there's a couple ways. So if there's a process, there are signals for it. And some signals that we can look at are tech filters. So if they have certain tech installed in their company, if they're following certain pages on LinkedIn, could be one good example. And the best one and the one that we use the most is Claygent. Claygent is a web scraper in clay.com. So we're saying, hey, visit this website and return the 3 things that they're doing right now to get more customers or to streamline their processes. And we quickly identified that the majority of these companies, they haven't virtualized their service offering. So they're still doing things manually. So the idea of this is that you send Claygent as your own personal web scraper to go on each of your leads' websites and identify these things right here. And we're going to be using these things in every single email. And it's important to look at it like this because we are segmenting the leads based on their current processes and not entirely depending on their size, location, or specific niche. So demographic and firmographics can be the initial filters that we use. But then for our actual outreach, we're going to be scraping what they're already doing and improving that. So how do you scale a campaign like this? Well, you just segment it by processes. So if they have process 1, that is a whole campaign. So let's say we identify that they don't have a portfolio tracker for their clients, but they're offering financial services. Well, we could say, have you thought about having a custom application for tracking your clients' investments? For process 2, they may still be manually processing documents. So that campaign could be focused on automations. We could say, hey, have you thought about like automating this whole document process? So you save 10 hours every week and you save X amount of money. We just did this for this company. You want me to hop on a call so I can explain how it works for you? This is the whole entire email. And and so you subtract every process that we create from their website and we build a custom campaign. So the campaign, as I said, this is kind of the email, how it looks like, pretty straightforward. You've done some research, so saw how your company does this. And I was just interested in hearing if you thought about this custom software solution that's going to help you fix your current processes so you can achieve your goal. I just haven't seen many people kind of discuss this side of lead sourcing. Everyone focuses on the surface level filters, as I said, the demographics and the firmographics, But if you identify the current processes that your clients have, you could pretty subtly put your solution in between to help them achieve the goal faster or to achieve it in a bigger scale. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, test this out, try it in your next outreach campaign, and comment below, tell me how it went, and I hope you have success. So thank you for watching the video.